Good morning, everyone. What is going on? Okay, we've got some things going on, but good morning to everyone who's hopped in here. Please hit that like button and we will get into it today. So we, of course, do have the Mickey Mouse Collection NFT, the Bandleader Mickey. We're going to be talking about the drop. We're going to be talking about Disney. We're going to be talking about the public service announcement that just came out from Ecomi last night. And then Veve reiterated this morning about the bots and what their actions are. I have two different kinds of opinions on this, and we're going to openly discuss it, just because I do think it is something that should be highlighted. I think it's something that should be discussed, but we're also going to talk about the drop and get into it. So good morning, everyone who's hopping in here. Appreciate you, fam. Let's do this drop together and let's go. Before we do anything, let's set up our drop, set up and get it all good to go. So happy Saturday to everyone, and let's get it. Boom, boom. Okay, so here we are. So what I'm going to do is, of course, actually the screen kind of takes it away. Let's go over here and boom. All right, it's easier to see now. What is going on, Dane? Dane wants to hear a little bit about my thoughts on what is going on with the temporary transfer disables, which we'll get into that. What's going on, Doge Nation and Tristan Burke. Let's get it. All right, so first thing we're going to do, of course, is go to profile, and then we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to my files and remove all downloaded files. Again, just clear the cache. We're good to go. And click into the drop. I haven't actually had a chance to check the timing on this. Now, it's actually really solid. Already good. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. So this is blind box format, of course. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to be obviously aiming for that little space. lose my voice already. All right, so we're going to be aiming for this little space right here. So of course, this is blind box format. As you see, if you scroll too high, it kind of disappears. So you want to stay a little bit lower, but it's this little space right here above the notify me. Go ahead and click notify me now. So that way it goes ahead and says you will be notified. You don't have to click it now. Oh, let's change it back. So if it changes back, just go ahead and hop out, then hop back in. And now it's fine. It says you'll be notified. So again, we're aiming for this little box right here. If you click too high, this will drop down. And the language isn't super long, but still enough that it could throw off where you're clicking. So if you click too high, that box will drop down and it could throw off the entire drop. So again, a little bit to the right, just above the you'll be notified. This is blind box format. So you just want to click. Again, you can spam it. You can try and time it. I know my man Johnny Dunn usually like times it, but I'm a spammer on that, on the space gate. So that's what my method is. I have, oh, you know what's funny? I just realized because they have temporary transfer disables, I usually use two accounts, two devices. That doesn't make sense anymore, at least for now. I guess I'm probably only going to be going one. I mean, this is a significant. Maybe I'll just go for it either way and then flip in one account. Who knows? Yeah, that's a tough one. But good morning, everyone who's hopping in here. What is going on? Yo, Taps. Hope you are well. What's going on, Henry? Taps. What's up, Tour de Lance? And thanks for hopping in here, everyone. I think I mentioned it last time that I've been absolutely slammed. It feels good to be back in the driver's seat. I actually wrapped up some pretty big things I've been working on for months with work. And so I, again, now finally have time to start making content. Like, not, I love streaming with you guys, but also like make videos, right? Like there's been a lot of things happening. I've written down so many things and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a video. And then I run out of time. So I'll be back into it soon. I've got tons of things I can cover, tons of videos I want to make. So I'll be back doing that. I'm actually gonna be working on one probably tonight or tomorrow, and then have some start coming out more frequently again. Feels good to be back. All right. So what is good evening from Greece? Man, I love it. Taxi Corp. Good morning, sir. Hi, Taps. How have you? Good to be back. Good to be back. Massage gun from Big Dog. Oh man, Big Dog's like, all right, if I can't compete, what's up to my Michigan? Omi, let's go, Lewis. All right, so we have our drop ready to go. We've got 33 minutes. So let's touch on the drop. And then I really want to talk about this this PSA, this public service announcement from Ecomi and Veve. I want to discuss it because I think it's important to know what is happening now, because not everyone has Twitter. And I also think it's like, let's discuss this a little bit, because I have two kind of thoughts here and I want to get people's opinion like openly, right? So we'll discuss it and get into it. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about our homie Mickey, right? So Disney Mickey Mouse NFT Collection, Bandleader Mickey, obviously dropping in the next 32 minutes. Now, I have a couple thoughts on this one, because Disney NFTs, like we've seen what happened with Golden Moments, right? Price went nuts. Obviously, everything's down, but still, price is still, I mean, the original Golden Moments are holding are a lot higher than what the drop price was. The newer Golden Moments are still higher than what the drop price was. And then there's Mickey, right? Like Mickey Mouse is the heart of the Disney brand, right? He is the main character of all characters when it comes to all things Disney. He is the spokesperson. He is the model essentially for everything Disney. So Mickey Mouse naturally has a lot more attraction of eyes. Like he's just a coveted character, right? And there's different forms of Mickey Mouse. There's different characters of Mickey Mouse. So when you think about what has dropped of value in the Veve app, you think of Mickey Mouse with Walt, right? The golden partner statue. You think about Steamboat Willie. So you think about the sorcerer's hat that went on Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. So Mickey Mouse is a figure that different forms of him, in theory, should hold value well. But let's talk a little about this drop, because there are a few things that I like and don't like about this drop. First of all, again, it's a nod back to old school Mickey, right? We have old school Mickey from the 1935 short, The Band Concert. This is a version of Mickey. I watched the entire video, but I thought I had to pause it here because look at how crazy. It hopped out. Look at how crazy Daffy. Donald Duck looks. Like he looks so crazy to me. I had to pause it right here. I was like, man, the drawings back. I mean, obviously, like art has changed, but crazy to see the difference. He sounds the same, like that that crazy sound that he speaks in, but it's just funny to see like some of the characters look so different back then. But this is the Bandleader Mickey, of course, blind box format. We already kind of spoke about, where the drop is going to be. Oh man, I love it. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Beard on a Batman. I love you, man. Thank you for that. He says dance for us. Oh man, it's funny. When I start these, I don't remember when the dancing thing started, but I think like I just danced in like during a stream, and then like people were commenting on it, and I was like, honestly, if I'm doing drops at 7:15, 7:30 in the morning, let's get the bones awake. Let's get the blood flowing, right? Let's get some dancing. Let's get some smiles and kind of go from there. Good morning. What is going on, everyone who are hopping here? Yo, Taps price prediction for this drop. Yep, we're getting there. Very important. Let's get it. Welcome back. What industry do you work in? So I worked for a number of years, Doge Nation, for one of the top research companies, directly advising, consulting tech companies. And I come from tech, right? So I left that job. I loved it because I got firsthand knowledge into what was happening in different tech sectors, which one of my clients was in augmented reality. One of my clients was in crypto. One of my clients was in different IT, different cybersecurity. Like I had different industries, and it was pretty cool because I got to see what was happening years before it was, like where the spaces were going, because we were directly advising them on helping them scale their businesses, but also on our analysts would have different insight and different specialties in that side. So I left that because I wanted more time to do this, right? Like I love this. And then also I wanted to make more money so I can invest more and eventually retire earlier, which was still years away. So I am now actually fully in technology. I'm in a basically advisory sales kind of position. And it was a lot more to start to bite off because I have a quota, like I have a very large quota, and I had to get a lot of things built up with clients and get my job performance up. So it's back now, it's good. So now I can spend more time making videos and kind of figure out that balance of the two. So thanks for asking though. Love connecting a little bit with you guys. Good luck, Taps NFTs of here from TikTok. Oh, hey, what's up? What's going on, man? NFT AF. I love your videos, man. Happy to see you on here. Oh man, screw Disney, bunch of. Sorry you feel that way. Taps, if you're interested in an opportunity, let me know. I mean, what's the opportunity, Pavel? Ping me in Twitter, or email me. My emails. If you look at the About on YouTube, you can go there as well. Take a look at the Eden NFT project. Going to be massive with a collab with what? Okay, I'll take a look at it. Eden NFT. I think that's a takeaway. Thank you for letting me know. Oh man. Oh man, hold on. Where we got so many things open. It's all arms because you can't see my bottom half. The bottom half's moving too, but thank you so much for the super chat again. Beards on a Batman, $2 super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Don't lie, Taps. You work in the dance industry. I love it. Dude, I love dancing. I like any wedding, any reason to like dance. I love it. Yeah. So, all right, back to business, right? And everyone who's hopping in here, hit that like button. Appreciate you, fam. So we've got 26 minutes left on this drop. Let's talk a little bit more about it, right? So it's blind box format. I mentioned there's some things I like about this drop, and there's some things I don't. And I mean, it's Mickey Mouse. It's going to do well. Everyone loves Mickey, but there's a few things here, right? So let's begin. Let's begin. And that is the common drop. It is 18,928 total editions. Now, Mickey is obviously loved and like it'll sell out, but that is a large edition size, even for Mickey at this state with where we are, I guess, with the market being down, all that. So like that's pretty large, right? I'm like 18,000. And when I look at some of the, and it could just be the angle, and it could just be like the prints, but the eyes kind of look a little bit blotchy. The drape of his Bandleader outfit, it looks rough or like a little rushed. And obviously, like we saw what happened with Electra, like everyone was cracking up about the quality on her, right? Like it just wasn't, the quality was lackluster. Now, we've seen some really quality drops, and then coming from Electra, and now I'm seeing this one a little bit. I'm wondering if things are being rushed or if they're working with a different design. Like this just looks a little bit off to me. And like I'm still wanting it, right? Like it's Mickey, and $60. I think that's still a good price for overall. But that's just a large edition size. And again, the quality is kind of weird. I mean, the box looks fine, but again, just the natural drape looks weird. Where it's a little bit right. I need to see a little bit more in. Like, I wish I could click in before the drop to kind of get in there. And then when you look at the uncommon, focus please, there are 13,000. So again, large edition size. And when you look, again, there's just a couple different areas that, like, I hope there's a little bit more detail when you jump in. But at first glance, there's just a few things. And when I look at, let me see, where is he? So when I look at like just like pictures of statues of him and like collectibles, like physicals, you can see that it's baggy on him. Like that's how he was dressed in the short, but it still kind of tapers to his body a bit. And so it's just little things like that let's see how like he looks kind of plump. Like it's just kind of different. So it was rendered in a different way that I'm kind of not stoked on how it looks on that side. And then the last one, which is obviously the one that we want, and it looks cleaner, right? Like very strong difference from how this one looks from how this one looks. And maybe it's just how the picture was taken. I'm really hoping that's it. Like the picture on these are just kind of weird in that they look more like this unanimated, obviously. But this is the animated one, the finale, only 6,928 of these. Again, same price. So it is blind box. You'll have a chance to get either one. And I like him. I think he's cool. I do wish the animation was a little bit slower, just a little bit. Like because of the loop, it's just like I wish like he was like a little bit slower and like the blink at the end like kind of like resonated longer. But again, it's cool. It's a cool drop. It's Mickey Mouse, right? Like we all love Mickey. It's just the edition sizes are different to me. And I don't remember how much Steamboat Willies were. So when it comes to comparing these, it really makes sense to compare to Steamboat Willie because that is, and obviously not like the full, like they're not gonna be the same price, but it's a good reference point. So let's go Steamboat Willie. Let's see how big those were because I actually don't remember off the top of my head. Mickey. There it is. 18,928. So they're the same sizes, right? So, and obviously these did well, but something to consider is 6,000. So yeah, the exact same sizes as Steamboat Willie. But something to consider again is that Steamboat Willie is the OG movie of Mickey Mouse, right? Obviously there was Plain Crazy, which did come first, but it wasn't publicly released until after Steamboat Willie. So, and this is still, you know, the movie that pops up before most Disney movies, right? So the price has obviously gone down significantly from where it was, significantly. And a lot of people are, I mean, it's crazy that it is this cheap from where it was. I mean, it was up to $8,700 to now $2,250 for the ultra rare. So when you think about what the price will do, a common OG Steamboat Willie dropped from, God, man, $12.99 was the high. It was over 1,000 for a bit, down to $284. So do I think these will be at $284 commons? No. I think realistically they'll probably be around 120. Like price will shoot up once they list and then it'll drop back down, but they'll probably drop to around 100, maybe less, but I want to say around 100. You know, some people will like it, maybe even like around like 80. Uncommons will probably be around 100, 150. And then the ultra rares ultimately will probably list around 800 and then drop. My guess is probably around to 500, 400. So dope drop, but consider the price action. Do not overpay for this drop. And I would be patient on it because as we've seen, like the FOMO will wear off in a day or maybe end of day. And then eventually price action will kick back in. It'll have a low point and then it'll go up a little bit, but it's not going to be a huge value on this one. And so if I land one, whether it's a, you know, low edition number or an ultra rare, I'll probably initially flip it and then rebuy and try to collect the set if I can. But something to consider with this one. He's really cool. Like I've been having fun with my NFTs on TikTok. And so this is one I could have fun with, right? Which I guess I could plug that too. If you're on TikTok, look up TapsTrades. I just basically play with my Veve collectibles and have fun with them. let's talk about this character as well, and then we'll talk about the bot thing, the public service announcement, and kind of go from there. But let's see. That job sounds cool. I park in taxes. It's a nightmare at this time of year. Oh, I bet, dude. I bet you're absolutely slammed. And then like you're slammed for a few months afterwards too, like working on all the returns and extensions and all that. You're doing the Lord's work, man. So I did my taxes, and it's it's not fun to do them. Oh, the IRS is never fun. What's going on, BDK? That's awesome. You will definitely have a long YouTube career. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, Doge Nation. Supporting the temp transfer. Would love if you formed a community advisor group with other OGs to meet with Veve and provide community feedback, ideas, and solutions. Feels like many are not being heard. I actually really like that idea, Ernesto. The only thing is, I feel like if they wanted that, like they can hire experts and some advisors who can do that. But I feel like they would have already asked a little bit on that side, and they sometimes ask for community feedback, but I almost don't want to overstep with, like, they obviously know their business, but we obviously know the community and they know the community. So, but I like the idea. That's cool. All arms, always how I dance. Price prediction just covered it. Mickey Mouse is iconic, no doubt, but I think this drop ends up doing not as good as, yep, that's exactly what we just talked about as well. I agree with you, Doge Nation. Mickey is wearing Bandleader outfit that was too big for him. That's why it looks bulky. I know, and that's, but again, it just kind of looks a little bit odd in comparison. The little details go a long way. Definitely seems rushed. All right, so let's talk real quick about this character too, because when you look at the main, the different forms of Mickey Mouse, he's gone through different transitions of how he looks, right? Plain Crazy, he was like the rough, like kind of, mangy looking kind of mouse. He had no shoes on, no gloves. And this was the first movie ever put out with Mickey Mouse, but it didn't release publicly until after Steamboat Willie. So Steamboat Willie is the one that people saw worldwide, fell in love with. And then Plain Crazy came out later. Came with this version in 1929. Again, kind of just slowly changing. Carnival Kid, slowly changing a little bit further. Band Concert Mickey. So this is a significant movie, a significant change. Debut Dapper New Duds, the band concert, but he does it all in bold, bright colors. The band concert establishes Mickey's red and yellow clothing color scheme for good in the first full color animated experience to be released in theaters. So something to consider is this was the first full color animated experience to be released in theaters. This is the first version of Mickey Mouse to be released in color. So that's why it is significant. And again, when you look at like the top forms of Mickey Mouse, Bandleader Mickey is mentioned, right? So it continues on with different movies where he did change throughout the years. Brave Little Tailor, 1938. The Pointer, of course. Sorcerer's Apprentice. We all know this one from Fantasia, 1940. That's crazy. Changed a little bit further, 1952. Continue changing all the way to 2000. Kingdom Hearts, baby. Oh man, I love Kingdom Hearts. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Having Disney mixed with Final Fantasy, come on. I don't have a Buster Sword behind me this way. Buster Sword behind me for no reason. And then of course we now have the newer Mickey Mouse show that he, is very much more kind of like the characters are more like jagged and edgy, and it's a new look for kids these days. So I want to talk about bots, but I did want to just cover that and then talk about when you look at some of the statues, they sell pretty solid for Bandleader Mickey, like $250, $350. You can see this OG casted version, $250. I mean, $350 for this version. He's on the wooden box. He had a certain look, right? So he is a significant character to Mickey and the world, but he's still not as significant as Steamboat Willie. So something to consider. Now, let's talk about this piece. And we have exactly 13 minutes and 47 seconds. So make sure you are in the app. Make sure you're good to go. Thank you all for hopping in here. Hit that like button. I appreciate it, fam. But let's talk about the bot thing. Let's talk about the public service announcement that came from Veve. And I want everyone to kind of hop in here and let me know what your thoughts are. because I have kind of a crossed opinion on this. And I'm not trying to FUD or say be a negative Nancy about Veve, but I do have a thought that I want to kind of address, and I've addressed with a few people that I talk to, daily, and they've given me some reassurance, but I do want to discuss it. So let's talk about this. So they came out last night with a public service announcement, a public tweet, right? So Veve fam, first, thank you for ongoing support. Veve was built for collectors by collectors, so we get as frustrated as you when we see bad actors keeping coveted pieces out of the hands of passionate fans. This is relating back to the bots. So if you're not familiar with what has happened with some of the bots, Pyromaniac he's one of a few who actually have been tackling the bot problem. They've been purposely finding bots, infiltrating them, and reporting back also results. So on one of the previous drops on the 31st, peaked out at 576,239 unique owners after distribution, 5,322 over the start, 7,272 pieces sold. So over 73% went to previously empty wallets. That is a big amount of bots, and he's continued to do this. So he's been able to figure out how to track some of this. And obviously it's not perfect, but it's a pretty strong estimation, right? And there is no way that there are over 75% or so total users who have completely empty wallets, right? That's not the case. So that screams that a good chunk of that are bots, right? Let's continue on, because I want you to focus on how many potential of these could be bots versus all of them, right? And like, this is already great that they came out with this message, so good on them, but let's continue. Although we have made significant strides in blocking bots and disabling some of the most prolific offenders, the effort remains a game of whack-a-mole, to overuse the analogy, with the recent uptick in activity despite disabling gem transfers and announcing KYC, which is, of course, they said in the AMA, being mandatorily done from New Zealand. Like, it's just New Zealand laws are like, hey, you have to do this now, which is great. I'm excited for that. Is even more clear that the brazen attempts to manipulate our drops and secondary market needs to be met with more drastic measures. As such, we will be taking the following measures. 1, market listings from disabled confirmed bot accounts will be removed. So they will be actively removing market listings that look, or they can prove, are bots, right? This has been a legal gray area until recently, but we now feel confident that this will go to a long way toward a healthier secondary market experience. So basically, this will affect some of the values, right? Some bots could get them and they won't be able to sell them necessarily. They'll have to get really creative. And so something to consider, they're not going to be able to just kind of like mass drop all of these collectibles for really cheap. They get bought up, and that affects the value, right? It does make the price go down as well, because they're just trying to flip, get the money and run. So that is already significant on the price values. 2, collectible transfers are now temporarily disabled until we are able to implement overall KYC and or market listing thresholds such as minimum number of held collectibles or time account has been active. So we're not going to be able to transfer collectibles between accounts. That vastly affects the bots, right? Like, they're going to have to obviously do the whole Mermicorno thing or whatever, like you sell for a certain price or high, right, to collect the gems or whatever, right? Or they'll have to sell and then kind of buy other things, but that will trigger. So if I sell, like, let's say, like, let's pretend I'm a bot. I'm botting, I get, 50 of these Mickeys. And then I sell one and, I get X amount of dollars. And now I'm trying to move that money over to a main account. If I buy a different collectible for a ridiculous price, or like, they have to be much more calculated. And yes, they're still going to be fighting with Veve and us for these drops, but at the same time, they're at least putting more measures in place. So this is a good thing. I'm happy they're doing this, even though it does affect me too, right? If I nail one on one of my accounts, I can't transfer over anymore. I would rather than take care of this massive problem that's come up. So they did apologize. They did acknowledge it. That's good. That's one point. The point that I have and that I really want to understand, and I've talked to a few people about this, but I want to bring it up with you guys too, is if someone in our community Pyromaniac can show that there are a large number of bots happening, right, on these some of the drops. And there's obviously been an uptick in AMAs in the past, including one like 2 months ago. Dan has stated that we have less than 1% total bots. Even if this is an estimation, we have entirely more than 1% of our total users who are getting drops that are bots. So I know they've switched some of the security side, but there have had to been some kind of viewpoint into data sets and different data points on who is botting. And obviously they're turning over rocks. They're trying to get these guys, there's talk of different like lawsuits with these people and things like that, but it's, and not lawsuits to get Veve, but like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, if we were told that there's less than 1% of botters and we're seeing clearly that it is a vast number and it's only a few months ago, I hope that it was an oversight, like something they didn't see, but that vast difference in the number, the percentages, makes me uneasy. And that I don't like, right? Because Dan has been pretty straight up the entire time, right? Like they hop on these AMAs and, they joke around and like they're very transparent and very candid. And I like that. So I don't think Dan would just straight up lie on the percentage. I think maybe there's more to it and they're uncovering more, but on that side, I think they need to be they need to work more with Rogers and Cohen, their PR company, right? Public relations, which helps spin things, but also put out good and, how you address the community. So I think they need to be more careful about some of the numbers they're putting out, right? Because when you tell me that there's less than 1% of a bot problem and you continue to crack down all of them, and then we see something like this that actually has a public service announcement come out from Veve and Ecomi, that tells me that these numbers that Pyromaniac are coming on, even though they're an estimation, are higher than that 1%, right? It's clearly a problem, and that there are bots who are getting very creative in winning a lot of drops. And one hopped in a Spaces and was speaking quite avidly about what they're doing. And of course, they could be embellishing. It could be spin technique from some of the competitors who are blatantly coming after Veve, people who hate Veve, things like that. But it could be authentic too. So that just kind of rubbed me a little bit wrong that we heard that it was less than 1%, and we're seeing that clearly it's higher. However, these are the things, right? The upside from this is when this all happened, it was Friday, I think, right? Friday, when there was the Spaces that someone hopped in, the bots talked about. And then I was already talking to people. I was like, I really hope Veve answers this, has something to say about this soon, and not wait, a week or so, because they usually take some time before they release a message. But the next day they go, or I guess that night, they came out with this and took action. This is what we've all wanted, right? This is awesome to see that they didn't wait. They came out, they acknowledged it, they took one on the chin. I appreciate that. And then they had action items that they're actively taking to fight this, instead of saying we're thinking about doing this, which they've done in the past, right? Like we're looking at this, we're thinking about this, this is on the roadmap. No, they're saying, hey, this is a big deal. We've heard you. Let's take action. So I'm really happy that they did this, and I think this is going to help quite a bit, right? Obviously, they did say once the new drop system comes into place, which is going to be worked out through this month, that will help drastically, as well as KYC. I think that not being able to transfer, like this is a good thing to make sure that we get more of the drops, which drop is in 4 minutes. Had to discuss it. Wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts. Yes, Sugs on price prediction. Talked about it earlier. I do think that it will be probably like, I guess, a third of the price of Steamboat Willie's common, uncommon, and ultra overall, only because he's not as big of a character. Still really cool, but not quite Steamboat Willie. He is the first in color, though, Mickey, which we talked about earlier, right? Which was it in this? Walt Disney released first ever Mickey short film produced in Technicolor from Walt Disney Animation. Yep. So again, I think this kind of got overlooked a little bit in the summary. I know I for sure did, but again, this was the first ever Mickey short film produced in color. So first version of Mickey in color. So something to consider. He's still not Steamboat Willie though, but still it's Mickey, right? It'll do well overall, but it's not going to do as well as our boy Steamboat Willie. Veve, what's up, Tuss? Veve benefits short term more from bot users. There is a lot going on in the secondary market transaction fees. Keep this in mind. I mean, true, right? The bots are still buying up everything, still creating a lot of secondary market. They do benefit from bots, but not long term, right? So long term, they want this to be something that there's as little issues as possible. They have a lot of built up, in the roadmap, and they have the longevity of this company to really go that extra mile. And even though Veve is one of the most well-known in this space with some of the brands, and like we have a massive community, it's still relatively unknown in a lot of the NFT world, and it's not a household name yet, right? So definitely something to consider. What's up, Mickey Man? Alex came on the spaces earlier today. He mentioned that it was in one stage like that 1%, but they have been a lot higher lately. He mentioned that they need to get better in communications. That's awesome to hear. So thank you for that, Mickey Man. And again, I don't think Dan or Veve were like lying. It just, that was such a gap, right? And so that's part of it, right? Is I don't want to come on here and always tell you guys everything's exciting, everything's amazing all the time. I also want to bring up things that, hey, this is a concern of mine, or this struck me weird. Let's discuss it. I don't want to just completely be like, Veve's liars, but I do want to understand, how do we get from less than 1% to that? And so that is helpful. So I appreciate you letting me know that, Mickey Man. Very, very helpful. And Alex is dope. I'm really happy that Alex has been so involved in communications with us. As an OG and a holder, what's up, Beard on the Batman? That post put dollar signs in my eyes. Nice. Think about how many NFTs are about to be burned when they are seized from these bots, if it's truly that many of them. That's a good point. Not only how many are going to be burned, but also could be given back, right? If they can. I know they're working out on the legality on that. Good morning, Stroker. Smash that like. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. We've got 1 minute to go. Let's get this drop. Let's go ahead and pull up everything we need to. Boom, boom. Where do we want to go? Let's go right here. Let's go on the Quinn clock. All right, everyone. We've got 1 minute left to go. I want to see some W's today. This is a big drop, so hopefully we can succeed. We can get it. We'll see what happens, right? But I want to see some W's. I haven't done in a while. I haven't done U-Gate in a while. So let's go ahead and hit some U-Gate. Let's get some U-Gate going. Get some wins. If it's early morning for you, wake up your house by screaming David U as you jam that space gate. If it's evening, let them know that you're going to be at dinner as soon as you hit this drop. Let's get it. 17 seconds. Heavy load. Did you see the bar at the bottom? It immediately said heavy load and did not hit. Wow. That is crazy to me. Huh. That did not feel good. Not going to lie. So immediately that box popped up that said heavy load. I was on the money. Spacegate has usually always worked for me. In the past two drops, I struck out. I struck out on Thursday and I struck out today. Who got a W? Because that one felt weird. It didn't. There's 30,000 of them? No love. A lot of L's. L from Beard on a Batman. L from Dano. L, Reslon Trash. W. All right, congrats, Juan. Well done. First W. L, heavy load. L, Stroker with the W. Congrats, Stroker. Well done. L, Veve disappointing users on the regular. I don't know, that one felt weird. Veve Focus with the L. David Perez with the L. Definitely felt weird. I don't think I've seen heavy load afterwards. I've never seen that box pop up at the bottom. It popped up like right around these guys. So I hit the button. You saw it stayed on that like reserving box, and then there was another box at the bottom that popped up and said heavy load. Really, really odd. Yeah, L. Yeah, longest load time I've had for a fail. Weird drop for sure. L Maxwell with a W. Well done. We got some W's. A lot of L's though. A lot of this felt weird. I think there will be rebounds to be had for sure. W, and we'll be going for that rebound at the 4-minute mark. W. Well done, Scott. Twin at War. L, me and wifey with a W. Congrats, Superman. Man, got it. Tao, well done. I just struck out big time. Heavy load L. Thank God for Eden. Oh, you're talking about, I do have another tab of Eden pulled up, so thank you for that. Sold out 1 second. Big LL. Veve Vault and Johnny got one. Nice. Well, congrats to Veve Vault and Johnny. Done. W from Misa Fisa. Well done. Super long time processing, but duck gems, no truck. Oh, you got it though. I agree with Johnny. Lots of rebounds. Like always, Veve Vault got one. Nice. WW. Been really long time. I didn't W. I got 2 ultra rares. What? Congrats, Aaron. Holy crap. Nice, Tyler. Got a W. Gave me an error at payment and jumped back to the homepage showing I had one. So let's go ahead and go for this rebound. It kind of depends on your strategy, right? You can try and time it. I've just been jamming because this has been effective for me with rebounds. So once I get closer to it, like I've been having heavy load errors, like especially these bigger drops. So instead of just trying to time it out on this, what I'm doing instead is I'm just going for it once we're about 30 or 20 seconds left, because the timing on this has been effective for me. So basically I'm just going like this and going for it. So we're going to have one at the 4-minute for the rebound. Good luck, everyone, on the rebound. That's what I'm going for right now. It's almost like a game of luck at this point because, again, that heavy load detours when I just try to time it out on the 4-minute on these bigger drops. See, look at, see? No love. Even doing it this way, it's just so laggy on that change to the 359 to the 4-minute because everyone's going for the rebounds. But it's been consistently doing that, and it's driving me nuts because I've gotten pretty good with rebounds in comics, but when it comes to these bigger drops, there is that lag time. So L on the 4, who hit on the 4-minute? Congrats on the rebound if you were able to do so. L so far gonna attempt rebounds. Nice. Where does the buy button show? It'll show at the 4-minute, the 8-minute, the 12-minute. So it'll re-pop up if you have your timing down. So right now it's the same spot, right? It's zeroed out right now, but it does pop back up if you're able to get back in, if you're close on that time. When do you click buy on the rebound? So you can either time it like at 3:59.5. You can, if you have the buy now button gone, you have to click back in and basically click it then, or you can do the like crazy jam technique that I'm doing. It's up to you. I've hit doing it my way, so that's what I'll be doing again at the 8-minute. W, congrats, Pomegranate. Payment error, but still went through. Also, I've seen that instant heavy load box before on past drops. Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen it. So, and I've heard people say, heavy load, but I've seen it in different ways, just not like that pop up at the same time I already had that box. L on the 4, L on the 4, L on the 4. W, focus, please. 648. Let's go. Congrats, G-Flow. I do still believe it's a place, a massive role where you live. Being in Asia, getting anything is hard. Sorry to hear that, Henry. I think I've heard different mixed things on that. I had the same pomegranate. Saw the buy button, but sold out. Dang. L on rebound. My experience is mirroring yours exactly. You can just reload the page. That is more effective than getting in and out. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I've done that reload page thing. And again, it does the same thing where it doesn't seem to, it just keeps reloading at the 4, 8-minute and all that, and it doesn't go as fast. So let's try it though. I don't think I'm going to have much better luck doing it this way, but let's try it. L4 green showed up, hit on the 4-minute uncommon. Congrats, Tony Rod. You still bullish on Omi buying more? G-Flow, I'm still bullish on Omi because it is so low, and we know that things are going to start happening eventually. We know it's further out, but again, especially since other cryptos moving, because other cryptos moving, and I diversify. Like I own Zilliqa, which has been shooting up like crazy. VeChain's been doing well. So Synthetics was making some movement, and I have all these other cryptos. So as those continue to move up and hit into higher parameters and higher, basically, I could sell my Zilliqa right now and buy quite a few million of Omi. But I think it has further to go because they're making a lot of metaverse plays. So I'm still bullish on Omi. I'm going to be selling some other crypto to buy more Omi. So very, very bullish, especially on these prices. How do I get that metronome you have? Go to QuinnClock, KWYNN.com. That is QuinnClock. Again, you can change the beats per minute or whatever. Not minute, the beats per second. So I do the 4. It's kind of up to you if you want to time it that way. But let's try the reload technique that I want to make sure I get the name right. Unrat talked about. No, sorry, I mean for the initial sale. I thought, hold on, let's go for this drop. For the 8-minute, 54 seconds. Didn't even pop up. Again, there was that little slow, but nothing. So I stayed on the screen, just kept reloading, but no buy now button popped up. So I don't know. I kind of like my technique better. So I'm gonna be going for the 12-minute too. Let's see what 17. Wait. Wow. 17,996 of 18,928 remaining. So this is rolling out slow. So hopefully we've got rebounds for a little while. I thought it would be top right of notify me. It is. So, the buy now button for before the drop, that is where it pops up. But after the drop, again, you can go for rebounds. So yeah, it would be before, like when there's still a countdown, it's basically the space in between notify me and the box that talks about the drop. After the drop, you're just trying to basically get the rebound. Which would you do? Get the Ultra Steamboat or finish the entire Mickey NFT card set? Ooh. I guess, what do you have from the NFT cards, the Mickey the Venticular cards? I would still say Steamboat Willie. Ultra Rare is a great price right now, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but I guess it depends on which cards you have from that set. It's still a great set, and the Venticulars are very cool. Where's the buy now button? Will pop. It'll on the grayed out button right here. So we're gonna be going for the 12-minute and see what happens. Let's get this 8-minute rebound. I missed it. You know that old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. How do I get a buy? Don't do it, Sam. Don't do it. What is space? I'm talking about Spacegate. So it's basically just go ahead and restart this video, and you'll basically see how to do Spacegate. W got heavy load. Did get a comment. Congrats, Alan. Do a video on Zilliqa. I've thought about it, man. Zilliqa's rallying. I've held Zilliqa for over a year now. So I got that long-term capital gains. L and the 8. What are your thoughts on Noya? I used to have some Noya, actually. I traded out of it a while back. I haven't checked in on it. I needed to recheck back, but I liked the project a year ago when I found it. I'm not sure what they've done since. I literally got it, but gems, then error. No, I'm sorry, Darius. Is better if your buy now button never disappears. Yeah, if your buy now button doesn't disappear, you stay on that screen and you just try again once the rebound comes, or rebound time. So you click on 59.5 on the QuinnClock. That's what I used to do, but that's what I do when it's not this style drop. Like when it's a comic or anything else, that's what I do. But because everyone's going for rebounds on these bigger drops, I do my weird little hop in, hop out technique, and I've been able to hit on it. I've done it before. Now I got gems stuck in the app. Sorry, bro. Sorry to hear that, Darius. That sucks. They said that's going to be worked out with the new drop system, but again, it's still happening, right? Sorry, it didn't work for you. Oh, no problem, Rat. For me, most of the time, the buy now button pops up this way. That's awesome. I think maybe it's just difference of like tech connection. Who knows? Win. Congrats, Joe. Let's go. Following up, I only have the Mickey card, so I can either get the Ultra Rare Steamboat or get the rest of the card set. Let me know your thoughts. So what? Goofy's now at around like $850. I think, so you complete the entire set. I guess it depends on what your goal is, right? Hold on, let's go for this and let's talk about that. What? Slow. For some reason, I'm not able, I was missing the thing. Big strikeout for me. If you hit on the 12-minute, let us know. So Tony, so you can either complete the entire set, so you can basically get 5 other, is it 5? There's total 6, right? You have Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Pluto. Yeah, it's 6. Goofy. So you can either complete the whole set. It's a 6 card or 6 collectible set. So you get a lot of Master Collector points, or you can get the Ultra Rare Steamboat Willie, which would essentially complete that set too. And it's a 3 set, so it's less points. So I guess it depends on what your goal is. When you look at the significance of the characters, the Venticulars are awesome. I have some. I haven't completed the set, but and I did actually sell my. I nailed the secret rare Goofy on the drop, and I did sell it for like 3K or a little around there, which I'm happy now I did because look at the price. But the character significance of Steamboat Willie. I mean, David Hughes talked about it. Plenty have talked about it, right? Like it's one to hold, right? It's one of the best animations, I'd say as well. It's hilarious. So yeah, I think as Disney continues to build out, like that's one to have and to hold. But the cards are really cool, right? And they're like the first of their kind in the VVF in particular. So I would say you can do either, but most likely Steamboat Willie at this price, it's a pretty solid like kind of base point. Yeah, it's kind of a swing for the fences on either one, right? Like they're both solid. What do you like? What do you have more passion for? Like, what do you want to collect? Do you like Steamboat more? Do you like the Venticulars more? Do you play with your collectibles? Like, you know, I've played with both in augmented reality, and I definitely like Steamboat a little bit more. So that's my thought. But yes, Beard on a Banana, do you have the rest of Steamboat Willie? If so, then get the Ultra Rare. There you go. If not, I would want a full set, not financial advice. Yep, it's kind of how I feel too. And I have the full set. I have the Ultra Rare Steamboat Willie as well. Big fan of it. Tony, I would say my goal is not necessarily MCP points, but holding long-term grails. So whichever sees long-term value better is what I would go for. Then Steamboat Willie. And that's the big debate, right? Is like, is Steamboat Willie a blue chip? Is it a grail? That's the strong, like it's the heart and soul. It's the heartbeat of the Disney brand. He pops up before every Disney movie. He is the first appearance in real life of Mickey to the public, to the masses. Steamboat Willie is a strong animated collectible. So again, not financial advice, but that's why I'm more bullish long term on Steamboat Willie versus the Venticulars. Very much like the cards, think they're awesome, but I very much like an animated significance of that character versus, you know, the Venticular 2D posters or cards that I have in my shirt. And he looks better in the showroom too. Like the cards look great, but something to consider. All right, folks, let's go for that 16-minute, and then I will hop off and give you the rest of your Saturday. But thanks for hanging out, guys. And again, you know, it's good to talk about some of the bots that like the public service announcement that came out with, kind of get some of the feedback. And someone even hopped in here and said, like, Alex spoke about the 1% thing, and that was helpful, right? Like, this is why it's good to kind of voice in this open format, because I don't want to just come out and say something that, you know, like I have kind of a viewpoint on it, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't already been addressed in the community on the spaces and all that. So good to hear. Let's go for the 16-minute. I'm trying the technique Unrat said. I didn't see the buy now button. Dang, no luck. I had 4 gems and bought gems twice during the win and still got it. Wow. Well done, Long. Anyone hit on the 16-minute? I got a big L. Well, I am going to stay right here in this chair. And what I'm going to be doing is doing some research, putting some stuff together, and of course, working on content. Because again, it's been too long, right? I've got to start getting content out again. I've got a lot of things I'd love to talk about. I think you guys are going to like the next video because there's been some kind of error in the Veve community, right? Like a lot of things have been talked about, a lot of things have been promised, but there's a whole lot of kind of what's happening. And so I'm kind of working on some stuff for the next video that will cover some of that. And so I definitely want to start getting more content out, keep more engaged with you guys. It's been too long. So congrats to everyone who did hit today. Big L from me. Yeah, it's crazy. So I usually hit like 50% on blind boxes. Out of the past two, I struck out. Crazy. So I need to get either more dialed in with my timing, but usually my timing is solid on these. So gotta figure something out because missing on Bandleader Mickey is not awesome. But again, do not FOMO into these. I think the price action will reflect later. Again, not financial advice, but something to consider is that I do think these will have a certain price and then it'll be a race to the bottom again. We still have the bots and something to consider. But yes, thank you all for hopping in here. And we got to dance out. We got to dance out thanks to Beards on a Batman. Lots of us are sad. Taps dancing makes us happy. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. Thank you for that. And congrats again to everyone who hit. Pavla, congrats on that W. L's from everyone. Looks like BTC going to pump to 50K. Is there any way to get Omi out of the Veve app? It's a bit pointless being there with missed opportunity costs, OUP, MCP. I've heard, well, the Immutable X bridge is being worked on, right? I believe there is a way. I'd put it out on Twitter and kind of figure that out. Or I guess there wouldn't be then, right? Because there's no bridge yet. Yeah, something to consider. But so I guess, I mean, are you trying to sell Omi? Dude, the price is so low, and obviously you can do what you want, but yeah. And so BTC is trying to pump right now. You guys can't see my screen, but I'm curious. I want to look at I'm looking at the 1 day. Weekends are really never usually solid for crypto. So I'm looking at the 1 day, looking at the 7 day, and it's trying. It's holding up well. I don't know if it's going to pump to 50. It could this week, depending on what happens. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen today or tomorrow based on the chart I'm looking at. But you never know, right? Well, congrats, everyone. Boom. Mickey Ultra Rare Amaro. Should you sell or hold? It's up to you. But if I had nailed the Ultra Rare today, I probably would have, if I received it, I would have sold at a high once the market opens and then rebought it. Just my thought. Though I think they may have locked transfers now on the app, so maybe they took that away. There you go. There was super complicated. So yeah, that's what I thought. So I would like put that it might be not able to now that transfers are. So good point. Agreed. All right, everyone. Thank you for hopping in here. Congrats to those who hit. Appreciate you, fam. And I will see you on the next video. Hopefully I'll have something dropping tomorrow, if not Monday, but I'll be working on it right after this. And so time to go to work. Have a great weekend and see you in the next one. Cheers.